Box is back. 2 pieces of signature chicken or 3 tenders. 2 sides and a biscuit. 1 very happy customer. Make Thanksgiving easy and delicious with Popeye's Cajun-style turkey. Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Autumn is in full swing here in Salt Lake City. Oh, isn't it beautiful? And as the leaves are changing, so are the fortunes of some Big 12 teams. It's Big 12 volleyball here on ESPN. Hello and welcome inside John M. Huntsman Center. I'm Mike Folta alongside former University of Utah middle blocker and assistant coach Linda Byington. And Linda, we might have 2 teams that are at the bottom of the Big 12 table or towards the middle, but they both feel as if they are coming off of building block wins.
Yeah, Kansas State Wildcats had their first win over the number 14 Kansas Jayhawks since 2020. They were down 2-1 and were able to come back in the match, and they had a 7-1 run to finish the match, showing a lot of senior leadership.
And one of their leaders is their setter, Ava LeGrand, who averages right around 10 sets per game, 3rd in the Big 12. She's been fantastic.
Yeah, she has had 8 double-doubles in the past 11 matches and had 33 assists to go along with 15 digs versus Kansas. And she's really a good senior leader for Kansas State.
Utes coming off their 2nd conference win against the West Virginia Mountaineers out in Morgantown just the other day, and that was a signature win.
It was. It was a big win for Utah to get their 2nd conference win. They were also down 2-1 and really went to Cameron Gabadlo a lot down the stretch, who came up big and was able to be able to get that 2nd win in the conference.
Yeah, they leaned on her quite a bit. You see there, the 28 kills career high, Linda.
Career high, and also her 11th game of the season with at least 20 kills and 10 digs. Both are big numbers. She's leading the team in digs as well.
Well, Cameron Gabadlo will no doubt be a focal point for head coach Jason Mansfield of the Kansas State Wildcats. He's going up against Beth Lanier in her 36th season at the helm of the Utes. Mansfield in his 3rd. Let's take a look at the standings in the conference, an incredibly competitive conference, Linda. There are landmines everywhere on this Big 12 schedule for all of these teams.
It is. Utah now 2-7 in conference, Kansas State 4-5, both looking to make moves, but every week they're having to come into difficult locations to play matches and also go up against ranked teams. So it's not an easy road for any team in the Big 12.
The Utes will be in action on Friday against UCF, who's down in Provo right now. We'll keep an eye on that score throughout the night, but we have an exciting one here in front of us with both of these teams trying to build in the middle of the season. Kansas State entering here tonight at 11-6, 4-5 in Big 12 play, and then the Utes on the year 10-10, right at 500, 2-7 in Big 12 play. This is the first ever meeting between these 2 teams here in Salt Lake City.
It is, and only the 3rd meeting ever anywhere. Utah is 2-0 all time, so head coach Jason Mansfield hoping to get his first win ever against the Utes.
Kansas State wearing their whites. It is the dark mode game for the Utes, so an all-black template for the home team. And we will start out with Simone Sims, a junior from Frisco, Texas, at the service stripe to start things out.
A great libero for Kansas State. She's right now the defensive player of the week for the Big 12 after the big win at Canada.
Both teams coming off a couple of 5-set wins. K-State, tip. Leah Wilton-LeBoy got a piece of it, and that's kept alive. Nice work there by McKenna Payne. This is kept up for the moment, but the Wildcats earned a hard-fought first point.
Yeah, that was a great hustle by Utah, trying to keep that ball in play. Utah's been using a lot of times a 2 libero system, which is a new rule last year, where you can have 2 people dressed in a libero jersey and they can kind of just switch in and out as they want. So Utah generally has 1 libero on serve receive, and they swap that for transition.
And it will be McKenna Payne, one of those liberos, freshman out of Monroe, Michigan, at the service line now. 5 service aces on the year. Wildcats again. They set Jordan Williams, and that's tapped over the net. And it's a 2-1 start for the visitors.
Not a great connection there between the setter and Jordan Williams, but she's able to just tip it over the block and find the hole in the defense.
So Jordan Williams out to a couple of kills in the early going. She had 9 against West Virginia on Friday. There's Cameron Gabadlo with a hard swing. That goes off the block and out. Her first kill.
Yeah, it's a really nice swing by Cameron Gabadlo, not pulling it down into the block, but swinging high, off, and out of bounds.
I mentioned the 28 kills that she had against West Virginia the other day. Fantastic in that game. And she will be leaned upon heavily throughout this game and the rest of the way as that serve goes a little long and K-State goes back in front.
Yeah, Utah doing a better job with missed serves the last couple of matches, not having as many as they did early, but something we want to keep an eye on through this match.
Earlier in the year, we were seeing 12, 15 in one match that seems to have been rectified, but a misfire there from Wilton LeBoy. And
yeah, and kind of the other thing to watch on Utah's side is the attacking errors. Lower hitting percentage as a team, mostly due to the attack errors. So something that they want to get under control in order to be successful in this match.
Utah hitting just over 200, a big part of that because of those errors you're mentioning. There's a swing from the left side, and that's Anaya Clinton, the 6'2" redshirt junior out of Midland, Texas.
Anaya Clinton not only is 6'2", but has really good leaping ability, and she's actually able to go over the block of Leah Wilton LeBoy on that swing. 16 kills in that emotional win against Kansas. And she tools this one off the block, back-to-back swings, back-to-back kills for Anaya Clinton. Yeah, Anaya Clinton also was big as a blocker against Kansas, and she really is high above the net. Not a matchup that Utah wants to see. And Beth Lanier does not like the start. Kansas State in front 6-2 to open up our first set. Great start for Kansas State, and great start for the Annihilator. Anaya Clinton, a couple of back-to-back kills right before that timeout by Utah. She's also a preseason Big 12 selection. She's had 13 matches with double-digit kills, and she's second on the team in kills. So she was also named to the Big 12 rookie team last year. Really one of the leaders, and Coach Jason Mansfield said that she really is like a strong personality and just a really good leader for the other team. You have to be a strong personality to have a nickname like the Annihilator, right? That swing went just out from Gabadlo at this near antenna. So we'll have Shaylee Myers right back at the stripe. And Utah running a 5-1 with Leah Wilton LeBoy as a setter. So she's a 5'8" setter and currently blocking on that right side. She sets up Gabadlo here, just a tip over the block. From the back row, that's Myers, and she finds the opening in the middle of the floor. It's a nice shot there by Shaylee Myers. She's coming in strong, looking like she's going to take a big swing, and the defense is back on their heels, and then just tips right up over the block. I think maybe a little miss connection, but still a great shot. Service ace, good run here with Myers at the stripe, and this has been a great start for Kansas State, but on the other side of this, Linda, Utah's been a little disconnected here early. Yeah, short serve there and just not getting there in time to make a good pass on that ball.
It's Gabadlo again. LeGrand sets up Williams. That time the block was there for Utah. And the Utes have it in system. There's the slide from Emery Moiai, her first kill of the match.
It was a really, really good job by Kansas State being able to keep that ball in play, but nice hustle here and then sending the free ball over, and Utah able to capitalize on that, setting the backslide. Emery Moiai going up against only one blocker that time and give the advantage to her.
That ended a 6-point scoring run for Kansas State. Bonnie Key Powell sends that hard off the block, and she has been a nice versatile piece for head coach Beth Lanier this season.
Yeah, Bonnie Key Powell getting the start as an outside hitter. You know, we've had some of the different injuries for Devin Weist, and so Bonnie Key Powell doing a good job stepping in.
And now Gabadlo picks up the ace at the service line, so the Utes are starting to feel it.
Cameron Gabadlo has a really good serve. It's a good float serve that doesn't spin much, and so it can just drop off the table like it did there, making it really difficult on the opposing team.
And that one almost gave Kaylee Pond a little trouble there too. This is a free ball now for the Utes. From the back row, Gabadlo drops the hammer, but it was dug out nicely by Sims. Here comes Utah. And then dunked over, nice read by LeGrand. She's known as the quarterback, but she can do that as well.
Ava LeGrand is setting a 5-1. There's a lot of teams in the conference that are running 6-2, and they don't have that option. But one of the things that's important is that she also become an offensive weapon to give additional things for the blockers to think about. And so she does a great job of seeing the court there.
58 kills coming into tonight's action. She hit the deck there. Some trouble back in the Kansas State side of the floor, and I believe that's Anaya Clinton that's down. She collided with Brenna Schmidt. There were two collisions. First, it looked like Ava LeGrand got run into, and now Anaya Clinton is holding her head as she gets checked out by the training staff.
I think that when she went on the floor, she hit her head directly on the ground.
Yeah, we'll take a look here. So there's already players everywhere. Ooh, and she just dives right into the right knee of the 6'6" Brenna Schmidt. I mean, players just hustling for the ball there.
Yeah, you hate to see that anytime, but especially early in this match, just running into friendly fire a little bit.
Yeah, they're still checking her out on the floor. Good news is she's definitely alert and responding to the training staff. That's not a concern. But
looked like she might have hurt her neck, maybe.
Yeah. Nice applause here from the faithful at John M. Huntsman Center as she sits up. You can see third-year head coach Jason Mansfield in deep concern over his redshirt junior Clinton, one of the leaders of this group. He was talking about how she might be the alpha of this group as well. One who wants the ball.
Yeah,
in
16
big moments.
kills and 14 digs versus Kansas in the last match. So hopefully she is okay and able to come back into the match and okay just in general.
Again, that seemed to start when the setter, Ava LeGrand, either got tripped or tripped of her own accord, and then that kind of started the chaos a little bit, but we're back to action.
Lauren Schneider checking in, outside hitter for the Wildcats.
She's wearing number 9 on that front row right now. And this is Emerson Van Lannen, redshirt freshman out of Kimberly, Wisconsin, at the service line as we get ready to get back underway. 10-5. K-State had a 6-0 run Utah answered, and the Wildcats have answered back here in the first set. Wilton LeBoy back sets to Moiahi, and that goes off the block and down. Second kill of the match.
Wilton LeBoy doing a great job here. The pass went a little bit tight, so she turned sideways and was able to back set Moiahi. Really created the great opportunity there for Moiahi's swing.
Emery Moiahi averaging about 2.5 kills per set. Entering tonight. That service doesn't quite clear the tape.
Second service error for the Utes with one service ace.
So here's LeGrand. 6 kills, 33 assists against KU at Allen Fieldhouse. Gabadlo out of the back row again. They are feeding her early and often, and it's working.
Yeah, this is actually an in-system pass. So the pass was there, creating the opportunity to set any of the hitters, and they're running a tandem play to the back row, kind of behind the middle blocker. Obviously, putting that in is part of the offense in two-hitter.
Gabadlo, 2 kills on 6 swings. Another serve goes long. That's the third service error of this first set. McKenna Payne checks back in at libero now for Utah.
McKenna Payne in as the passing libero.
This is Lauren Schneider at the line. Wilton LeBoy. That time for Allie Grossenbach, and Grossenbach picks up her first kill of the night.
Allie Grossenbach getting the start tonight. She's a freshman lefty from Utah. Has done a really nice job for Utah, and smart swing there, not trying to swing straight down, hitting deep in the court where there's no defender. Really like that swing from Allie.
Tonight is her 7th start of the season. 50-50 ball at the net. Utah comes away with it. Gabadlo steps into one and fired it low into the net.
Set drifted a little bit off the net there, so Gabadlo not able to take a full approach, but still trying to get a good swing on the ball and just a little bit low.
She does it all for the Utes. A lot of times she has to swing off platform a bit. Here she goes again. That time a cleaner look, but didn't have the angle that she wanted.
Yeah, I think going up, trying to swing high hands, just missing the hands a little bit. Really, actually, a good swing. That's a good miss. You'll take that.
So here's Sims, reigning Big 12 Defensive Player of the Week. Grossenbach again from that right side, and that goes right through the block this time.
Yeah, again, a really nice swing for Allie Grossenbach with her left hand. Sometimes being a lefty can change up a little bit where the block is going, and lining up there, leaving a seam, and Allie just being able to swing down that line.
Grossenbach, a freshman out of Harriman. There's Shaylee Myers, high off hands, and nice swing from Myers. It's her second kill of the night.
Shaylee Myers is a really aggressive type swinger. Comes in hard, hits the ball hard off the block. Really, really nice athlete.
Averages 4.7 kills per set. Shaylee Myers entering tonight. As we hit the 15 mark, 15-10, Kansas State in front. They had the big run early. We've gone back and forth since. Line, Grace Moss. Go ahead, Linda.
Shaylee Myers hitting 252, also taking all of those swings, so doing a good job on the outside.
And that's Myers again. This time it's into the block and over towards us.
Good job here by Leah Wilton LeBoy and Emery Moiahi pressing over the net. Shaylee Myers swings a little bit lower to the tape than Anaya Clinton does, and so it's a little bit easier for Wilton LeBoy to handle.
They go to Myers once again. This time she tries to paint it down the line. Gabadlo gets a touch, and she hammers that into the back row.
Yeah, that was a great high, deep swing. Going above the block here, over the block deep, and tagging the Kansas State player.
So now Utah within 3. Moss sends it away. LeGrand over to Myers, and she found a soft spot. There were a couple Utes right at the net, but Shaylee Myers had just enough touch on it to create some problems for the Utes.
Really nice set by Ava LeGrand. She got pushed to the side and setting Shaylee Myers. She's the Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week twice already, and she also has had 34 kills in a match, which is the first player in Big 12 history.
Here comes K-State. This has to be a free ball, so now the Utes get to work. And another powerful swing from Cameron Gabadlo, her 4th kill of the match.
One of the things Coach Jason Mansfield said that he really wanted his team to try to get swings on the ball even when they're not in system and not send as many free balls over. And you can see why there, Utah able to capitalize on that free ball.
Tape tickler, that one just climbs over. Nearly dug out by Ileana Linehan that time, but Kansas State earns the point. Checking back in now, Brenna Schmidt.
Lauren Schneider, really good job. She checked in for Anaya Clinton after the injury, and she swings hard on the sharp angle and able to get that kill.
This time it is Nia Maria Yoki back into the game, and that one just barely missed that deep corner.
Really tough serve, getting Utah out of their offense, and really didn't have any other options except Nia Marie Yoki.
We've seen Yoki on both antennas so far this year for Utah. Moriai able to fit it in. They saw chalk on that one. A great swing by Emery Moiai, just finding the smallest of windows. And she will head to the service line.
Moiai swinging on the high back set there instead of on a typical quick middle set.
Out of the back row, Shaylee Myers pierces one through the block. Back and forth we go here in set number 1.
K-State making an effort to set the back row. Again, this is an in-system ball that they had many options, but able to set it to Shaylee Myers, who has the advantage with only 1 blocker.
4 kills on 9 swings for Myers, but this serve is a little long. 3rd service error of the set here for K-State.
Both Shaylee Myers and Cameron Gabadlo with 4 kills so far in this first set.
Leah Wilton, the boy, has done a great job coming in and setting for Utah, stabilizing this group. That's tapped over by Brenna Schmidt. Here come the Utes. Grossenbach sends that off the tape. That did not hit a hand. It hit the top of the net and goes out.
Grossenbach trying to swing around the block that time. She's been moving the ball around really well, but I think the tape kind of forced that ball out of bounds.
Schneider, the redshirt sophomore out of Texas. This time they set up the middle. That was the freshman Caitlin Field. They've been adding more offense to her repertoire.
Yeah, Caitlin Field, 6'5", middle blocker, just a freshman. They're hitting the gap set, and the right side blocker bailed, going outside to play to block against the outside hitter. So she only had 1 blocker up, which is really fortunate for Utah.
That was tight to the net, but Myers finds it off a nice set from LeGrand right there. Pass wasn't perfect, but LeGrand got a piece of it, and Shaylee Myers buried it.
Shaylee Myers is doing a really good job of mixing up the tempos. Right there, she takes a little bit off it, but is able to swing really sharp angle.
Let's see if the Utes can make a push. Grossenbach into the block. It's sent right back. Kansas State establishes the wall at the net.
Shaylee Myers and Jordan Williams combine on that block. Jordan Williams had 8 blocks against Kansas to lead the team for blocking.
22-16. We'll step aside for 30 seconds here at John M. Huntsman Center. Utah trailing Kansas State when we return. 22-16, Kansas State in front in set number 1. Shaylee Myers has been wonderful so far. 5 kills already for Kansas State on 10 swings with her.
Yeah, hitting 400 as an outside hitter, and again, really mixing up what she's doing. So swinging hard out of the back row, taking a little bit off and swinging on a sharp angle shot, and just really finding ways to get the kill, finding the floor.
You can feel that connection between her and the setter, Ava LeGrand, who we highlighted earlier at the open of our show. Those two seem to find each other wherever Myers is located.
And Shaylee Myers, really important right now with Anaya Clinton out. Generally, the two outside hitters have carried the offense for K-State, so it's going to be a lot more on Shaylee Myers' shoulders right now.
And we believe that Anaya Clinton went back to the dressing room. That one was right on the line. What's the call? They say it was out. We'll see if Beth Lanier wants to go to the yellow index card here.
Looks like they asked Cameron Gabadlo if she thought the ball was in. And I think she said no, so we're going to have just a timeout called.
Utah is challenging that the ball was in.
Okay, there you go. So this was coming down the line, and from our vantage point live, I thought that was right on the white.
The line judge that calls that sideline, he put his arms across his body, meaning he wasn't able to see it. So the line judge wasn't able to make a call. So not a bad challenge. You know, you don't have somebody who has a great vantage point looking at it. And again, it's a big point to take Kansas State to 23.
I think that's it. Well,
hard to tell a little bit.
That's why I'm not a linesman.
Yeah.
There's not much compression on the ball because it was pretty softly hit.
After review, the call is confirmed. Utah will lose a challenge.
Confirmed, so they felt like they had enough evidence to confirm that it was out.
Right, so she has some different angles that we didn't see in order to see, you know, if the ball is in, and so second referee Daphne Nelson was able to see that she saw it land out of bounds.
And I am 0 for 1. I have also lost my challenge tonight. 23-16, Gabadlo off the hands. And Shaylee Myers once more, her 5th kill.
This ball set inside. The Utah block moved in, and Shaylee Myers able to turn it past the block down the line.
Her 6th kill, rather, and it's a 4-0 scoring run for Kansas State. Here at the end of set number 1. Moving the boy for Gabadlo, another push over the block. Back set to Reagan Fox, and that's hammered off the block and down. And the first set belongs to the K-State Wildcats, 25-16. Kansas State got out in front early and never looked back. We'll step aside here shortly at John M. Huntsman Center. Back for set number 2 in Salt Lake City in just a moment on ESPN.
Turns out you were right. Our car was breaking down and we did need a new one with a loan from America First Credit Union. Me saying there was no hurry and to wait was wrong. Hey, on the bright side, we got to meet Huey.
Get your money working with our low-rate auto loans. Now, with no payments for 90 days.
Big O Tires has more than 460 locations nationwide. Chances are there's a location near you. Owned by someone in your neighborhood, we offer a wide range of diagnostic, repair, and routine maintenance services, backed by one of the best national service warranties, because everyone in our community deserves legendary care. Big O is the team you trust.
I can't express the importance of the donations that we get towards everything in our athletic department.
You know, every year you see somebody's life change.
It's an incredibly rewarding experience to know that you're supported by people who see the work that you put in.
Being able to have this opportunity and play for such an amazing fan base has been a dream come true. Yeah, it's just thinking about that gives me a little goosebumps. It's the energy that gives us the extra push.
Towering above the University of Utah campus are the stunning Wasatch Mountains. They serve as inspiration for the towering breakthroughs that happen on campus. Like a thought-controlled prosthetic hand that can feel and move, or using metallurgy to manufacture a titanium alloy and 3D printing to lower costs. It's the impact of a culture of collaboration and innovation, and of a university that is always climbing.
Well, we already had one former University of Utah middle on our broadcast, and now we're joined by a current University of Utah right side, outside hitter, Ashley West. Ashley, thank you for joining us. What have you seen so far?
Yeah, I think K-State came out hot. I mean, we can see it right now. They're hitting at a clip of 571. So, you know, they came out ready to go. I think we can push back a little bit right here and just stay in it within our serve pass game.
Yeah, kills almost equal, but just a lot more attacking errors on the Utah side. Otherwise, very even in statistics. What do you think that Utah can do to minimize those attacking errors?
Yeah, I think when we get into uncomfortable situations, whether it's a misconnect between the setter and the hitter, or it's an out-of-system situation where maybe our attacker just doesn't feel in rhythm, we can just manage the ball a little bit better. It looks to be that we're kind of forcing, you know, a certain swing or a certain shot where I think we can just look to stay in rallies. Kansas State is a really good defensive team, so we can expect them to punch back in rallies, but just looking to push forward through rallies, yeah.
Zooming out a little bit, Ashley, just coming off the win against West Virginia, what was the move after that 5-set victory?
Yeah, it was good. We had a lot of fire to us. We talked about it this week that we wanted to reset our goal for the rest of the season moving forward and see what we wanted to do with the rest of the remaining 9 games that we have, see what we could turn this season into. So fired up coming into this game for sure.
Each looking for a conference win number 3 on the season. Here's a free ball. Wilton LeBoy back set for Grossenbach. Did that get a touch? No, it did not, and so K-State picks up the point.
What's that road trip like, going all the way across the country, and you know, with the big conferences and the way they are, how does that affect the team?
Yeah, I mean, it was a long travel trip for sure, and made the week long, but it gives us a lot of time to spend with each other and really figure each other out. So, yes, tiring, makes the week long, but for sure needed for this group.
How do you keep up with your studies, you know, when that's all going on?
We really just got to prep before we get on the road. Talk to our professors ahead of time. Mary Chris is our academic advisor, and so she kind of does a really good job setting us up for success within that. But yeah, and then also just being disciplined when we are on the road. Downloading the PDFs that we have to do it on the plane.
You can never trust the plane Wi-Fi, right? K-State on the move. Swing from Reagan Fox. Wilton LeBoy got it up in the air. And now the Wildcats are on the attack again with Fox, a swing from the right side, and another kill for Reagan Fox. That'll be her second of the match.
Another thing that Coach Jason Mansfield said that he really wanted his team to do was take advantage of opportunities when they're given. So free balls, overpasses, and that kind of stuff, taking care of that. And as a team, is that a mindset, Ashley, you think that you have to come in with, or how do you make sure to take care of the easier plays?
Yeah, I think it definitely is a mindset. Also something that you could be talking about a ton, right? So being on the aggressive side of it and just really, you know, using it as a gift. Like if we get a free ball, it's like, oh, thank you, we'll take it.
Well, it's a good start here for Kansas State to open up the second, 4-0. Leah Wilton LeBoy is out there right now. She's kind of helped come in and stabilize setting. What can you say about her command out on the floor?
Yeah, she asks a lot of our attackers, right? And that's a good thing for the setter to have. She demands that. When she puts up a good ball, she expects it to go away. Like right there, we saw Gibby put that one line. So, you know, it's a good setter to hitter feedback loop that she's been able to create with everybody on the team.
Let's take another look at that swing from Cameron Gabadlo as she picks up kill number 5.
Set really well pushed out so that Cameron Gabadlo has the line available. Sometimes those balls die inside, and it makes it a lot harder for the attacker. So Wilton LeBoy doing a good job there.
This time they set the middle. That's Jordan Williams. Some subs coming in here for Kansas State. Kaylee Pond, our freshman out of Roanoke, Virginia, at the stripe.
Ava LeGrand on the other side doing a great job pushing the ball to the middle and creating that one-on-one opportunity.
Here come the Wildcats with Myers again. That time the block got set up by Utah. Myers once more, and once more turned back. Wilton the boy, punched over by Gabadlo. And then Williams misses out. That time the block got established. Ashley, what'd you see there on the front row?
It was good pin-to-pin work. I think that the eye sequencing was fast. You know, with those scramble plays, you just got to keep your eye on the ball and keep your eye on your priority hitter. So a lot of discipline at the net that we saw right there was good.
And Ava LeGrand front row, so just 2 attackers, which can make it a little bit easier for the block, only having to worry about 2 attackers.
That one just missed the line. We were talking about Cameron Gabadlo earlier, her career high 28 kills against West Virginia. How have you seen her, I guess, shoulder more of a workload and respond to that?
I think coming into this season, she knew that she was going to have to carry a big load for this team, especially the youth that we have within our roster. And she stepped up. I mean, she loves being in the position that she's in. It was a great performance against West Virginia. And I mean, it's what she does. When she plays free, she can put up big numbers. So fun to be on the court with her and be her teammate.
Second ace for Kansas State on 3 service errors. Make that 4.
Can update that stat for you.
Yeah, really important for both teams to serve tough. If you send the ball over like a free ball, both of these offenses are good enough that they're going to side out. So you have to kind of balance serving tough with trying not to make too many errors.
There's Williams on the slide and then nudged over by Wilton the boy. Off the hands, and that's a kill from Schneider. Doing it well to tool it off the block. 8-3, Kansas State in front. We saw Schneider come in for an eye cleanse. Sorry, Linda.
Lauren Schneider, just 5'9", so she has to be smart with how she's swinging. Right there, she's going, you know, on Leah Wilton the boy, who's the smaller blocker of the 2, and smart hit to swing off her hands.
Emery Moiai picks up the kill, going down the line. Checking in now, Caitlin Field for the Utes. It'll be Moiai, the senior out of Bountiful, at the line. This hard serve, and it earns Utah a free ball. They set the middle for Field. Up in the air. That was Yoki, and Utah maybe garnering some momentum here early on in the second.
Ball got pushed a little bit tight, but Yoki doing a really good job just reaching high and pushing that ball over the block. You can see it's coming from really far off the net. So important that she doesn't try to swing down into the block.
That time a back row attack from Shaylee Meyer, something we saw a lot of in the first set.
Shaylee Myers leading all attackers with 9 kills, hitting 500 right now. Pretty amazing for an outside hitter.
Yeah, it's a good clip for sure. She's a good player. We knew it coming in, so got to find ways to pick these balls up.
This Kansas State team is an experienced team as Field picks up a thunderous kill there, but they're an experienced team, a lot of seniors, redshirt juniors. They've been together a long time. Is that something you can feel when you're playing against teams of that experience level?
For sure, you can tell within their communication, you know, that they know what each other is saying to each other, maybe just by looking at one another. So that, and then also, I mean, they all have experience under their belt, so they have their offense, they have, you know, everything about their system established.
No transfers in or out for K-State, as I think one of the Utes was in the net there. But that's something you pretty much only see out of service academies. No transfers. This is a group, a lot of these players have waited their turn for the Wildcats and are getting an opportunity under Coach Mansfield. One of them, Schneider, at the service line, stepping up for the injured Clinton. That's Reagan Fox, blocked by Key Powell. Myers sends it to the back row and was able to fit that in the deep corner.
Shaylee Myers again taking a little bit off this, but finding a place that's open on the court. Just a really smart swing by her.
How do you compare that, a player who will give you a lot of change of pace versus someone who has maybe one speed?
Yeah, you just got to keep your eyes on the right thing, you know? She can move the ball around speed-wise and location. At this point in the season, we have scouting reports established on players, and she knows that she's hard into the seam. So we got to expect her to move the ball around into the open parts of the court.
So your scouting report said that she's mostly going to hit hard angle. Is that so? Your block is going to move in and try to take that away?
Yeah, that's the goal. That's the goal. Take away her strength so she, can move it around into our defense otherwise.
10 kills already for Myers. Here she goes again, and this time Wilton LeBoy read the play and dug it out. Over for Gabadlo, and that's money every time.
Cameron Gabadlo taking 2 swings in that rally. The first ball kind of tight. She just recycles it, meaning she's kind of just hitting it into the block, expecting that we're going to have a defender there to pick it up, and then she gets to go after it on the next swing when she has the advantage.
Sims got in there with the dig, but nice work by Grossenbach here on this right side. How impressive has this freshman been?
I mean, she's been great. That was a really good job by her, just getting pressed over the net as that kind of soft touch free ball came over and just capitalizing on points. That's kind of what we need right now, so get the momentum going for sure.
Back to within 2. This is Shaylee Myers, and that slipped through the block. Grossenbach and Field, a couple of the youngsters on this Utes group are there up front. K-State will take the serve with Sims.
Block in a little bit early because she was swinging a little bit off the net and swung a little bit softer. It takes longer for the ball to get there, so it changes up what the block is doing.
Sims picks up the ace, and she'll go right back to the line.
3rd service ace for Kansas State.
Had a career-high 26 digs against the Kansas Jayhawks. K-State's last game, a big emotional rivalry win. Myers just has to send this over. Gabadlo hard off the block. Sims is there. Out of the middle, that's Williams. And back set for Fox. And Reagan Fox converts her 4th kill of the night.
Ava LeGrand, the setter for Kansas State, doing a really nice job in this rally, mixing it up. On that last play, she was pulled forward pretty far and pushed it against the green. Clear back, it makes it really difficult on the Utah block.
Utes get a free point there, and we'll see McKenna Payne at the service line. 14-10. And here is the freshman Payne. Williams on the slide. And that goes off the block of Emery Moiai and out. 15-10. And we will take a quick break. We'll be right back with more action in a second. Coming up next between Kansas State and Utah here on ESPN.
What an angle on that one.
Growing up, I played like every sport. I tried everything. And my parents, growing up, they played basketball. And then volleyball is just one that I really stuck with and just loved. I just can't imagine not doing it. I think coming in as a freshman on this team has been really easy with the people around me. This team, they don't talk to you like you're a freshman or a senior. They talk to you as you're a teammate. And I think that's so helpful because coming in and being able to make an impact, you're looking to the people next to you, and they're there for us, not them.
Ashley, that's your teammate, Devin Wiest, and it's been an up and down season for her, but she seems like an incredible personality. She's out here at pass serve, having fun with everybody, even though she's in a boot right now. What have you seen from her, the way that she's battled through adversity this season?
Yeah, I talked about it last time we talked that she was injured, and she just really does a good job at still finding ways to give to the team when she is out, you know, and that's a hard thing to ask from a freshman. So it's been great to see. I'm smiling watching this little feature because she just has such a contagious appearance in a room, and so I've just loved having her join this team. I can't wait to get on the court with her. I was telling her last week we were roommates in Cincinnati, and I was like, Dev, like, keep your head down. It's going to work out, and I cannot wait to get on the court with you.
And Emery Moiai can't wait to land after she skied for that kill coming down the middle, and Utah picks up a big swing there to pull back within 5.
And Devin Wiest injured her ankle on the road right in warm-up before the Cincinnati game. So second injury of the year, not something you really want to see, especially as a freshman.
16-11 here in set number 2. Kansas State took the first. That's Myers. Utah digs it up off the deck. Up in the air from Linehan. Wilton LeBoy to the middle. And then Williams taps it over. Here comes Utah reloading. Gabadlo off the block and out. A hard-fought point won by the Utes.
Great long rally, I think longest rally we've had of the day. But so Ashley, being injured, which I know unfortunately you have been, how do you stay connected, or do you have a role on the team, or what kind of things can you do when you can't be on the court?
For sure, something I talk about all the time for my teammates is just being another pair of eyes for them. So sometimes we're in practice or in a game and they're not seeing one thing that everybody else is talking about. I'll be like, hey, this is what I see, you know, keep moving forward. But yeah, just being another pair of eyes, a support system for them, and also just finding ways to connect to them off the court.
Do you go to practice every day still, and do you travel with the team and do everything like that?
Yeah, I do. It's been awesome. I mean, it definitely is such a bummer not being on the court, but I still feel 100% a part of this team. Every single day in the training room, in the locker room, at practice every day, on the road, yeah, I'm there for it all, so.
That's awesome. So you find a way to do what you can, I guess?
Yeah. People, so still got to find ways to give to them.
And I would think of the rest of the team to see someone who is injured fight to get back, and all the training and treatment that you have to go through, but you do it so that you can get back out there with your teammates, right?
Yeah, my main goal is to just continue to build relationships with them. That way, when I do get on the court, it's like I never left, right? So, yeah, working towards that every single day.
Nice shot there by Emery Moiai, her 6th kill, hitting 500.
Does Utah have a surge here in the second? Nice swing there from Schneider, who has stepped in admirably for the injured Anaya Clinton. She got banged up a little bit earlier, and we have not seen her back out on the floor. She is on the bench for Kansas State, Anaya Clinton, with a towel wrapped around her head. It doesn't look like she's going in anytime soon.
Happy to see her back and doing okay.
There's Yoki. Dug out nicely by Gabadlo. Moiai ends up finding some space on this near side off the hands of one of the Wildcats. And there is Anaya Clinton, who looked like she ran into one of her teammates' knees earlier in the first set. Kansas State in system. Yeah, that was a little too hot to handle. Another kill from Schneider, who now has 4 in the match so far.
4 kills on 4 attempts, so she's actually hitting 1,000 right now. Perfect so far on the night.
Is that ever difficult to deal with too? You have a focal point of your game plan that's all of a sudden removed, and no doubt Kansas State would want Clinton back, but it maybe changes the dynamic a little bit trying to defend.
Definitely does, yeah. We had no idea that was gonna happen, obviously, and great to see that Clinton's back out here, but yeah, you just gotta fight hard against whoever steps up in the next role.
Great back row attack for Cameron Gabadlo, we just saw on the replay. Getting her really involved in the back row, especially in 2-hitter.
I think we might have some administrative delays here as Coach Mansfield is at the monitor.
That was Cameron Gabadlo's 26th attempt already.
Wow.
So she, and then Shaylee Myers has 23 attempts, so really carrying the brunt of the offense for their teams.
It's interesting to see those numbers. Something we talked about yesterday, I was actually talking to Cameron Gabadlo, that a lot of the teams in the Big 12 have outside dominant offenses, right? So you see a lot of attempts and a lot of the offense get pushed out to that pin. So, I mean, the numbers are matching the words right now.
Yeah, and they're both swinging out of the back row too, a lot, especially again in two-hitter rotations. So it really creates another offensive weapon for them, both sides of the court, and it you know, being effective for both teams.
Yeah, and we're checking to see if we have the score right, I believe, here. Yeah, so Utah on the scoreboard has 16
and
on the scoreboard right now,
yeah.
And then somewhere else, yeah, in our stat broadcast iPad here that has all of the world's knowledge, it says 15. And so that's what we're trying to figure out. I mean, we put a man on the moon, but can't keep track of. These things happen sometimes.
So
Looks
far
like
on the
Utah back down to
night,
15.
Kansas State with 27 kills, Utah with 21. 4 service aces for K-State to 1 for Utah. Utah leading in blocks 2-1, and K-State leading 24-16 in digs. So
they've moved it back to 15. So the scoreboard is wrong, and that's what's feeding our score bug that you see on the bottom of the screen. It's correct right now, but what we had on our magic iPad was the truth all along. So we're back to action. This is Leah Wilton-LeBoy. There's Brenna Schmidt. And Linehan sets up Yoki. That was a laser beam down that left side. Free ball at the net, and Field wins the 50-50 battle. She's a presence at the tape.
Caitlin Field and Allie Grossenbach played together in club. They're both local Utah players. They're both up there together on the block. So, you know, something they've done for several years, even though they're only freshmen.
It definitely rolled nicely into our preseason camp. We saw them having already, like you said, a good dynamic at the net.
Out of the back row, Gabadlo. Another swing for her. This is at the net again. And Utah earns the point here. Grossenbach was right there, menacing at the antenna.
Looks like Reagan Fox trying to save that ball, but pushed it off the antenna, and so that's the point for Utah.
20-17. We're going to step aside here, and we're also going to say goodbye to Ashley West. This isn't a goodbye to see you later,
yes.
Ashley, but thank you for joining us.
It is. Thanks for having me. I always love coming down, so thank you.
Hope to see you on the court very soon.
Absolutely. We'll head to break here on ESPN. More action coming up between K-State and Utah. Two to 1 UCF leading the BYU Cougars down in Provo, Central Florida. That is Utah's next opponent. Looking at some of the news from around the Big 12, some action last week. You see Kansas State right there knocking off the 14th ranked Jayhawks.
BYU, big upset over TCU. That snapped a TCU 18-match home win streak. And then Arizona State, still amazingly undefeated in conference. They have 24 wins in conference in a row dating back to last year. And this is teams that have been perfect in Big 12 play since 1996, Texas and Nebraska, two teams that are no longer in the Big 12. But ironically, both of those teams are the only two remaining undefeated teams in the NCAA Division I right now.
Some things never change, it appears. Service error right there by Utah. So Kansas State could run things out here in the second set with Schneider at the line. She's been good in fill in minutes. Gabadlo from the back row. LeGrand sets up Myers, and that one was just out. And let's see if Utah can capitalize.
Right there, Cameron Gabadlo just keeping the ball in play. Kind of back to what Ashley was talking about. Didn't really have an opportunity to go for the kill, but keeps the ball in play, and it leads to an error on Kansas State and a point for Utah.
And that's what this Utah team has been needing coming down the last few weeks of conference play. Just giving yourself a chance, right? Here comes Kansas State. Battle at the net. Linehan underneath. Badlow rifles one that was dug out nicely. Then that was Field who punches it off of a wildcat and out.
Utah doing a really good job getting several opportunities in that rally. Wilton LeBoy keeping it alive early on, and then Caitlin Field capitalizing on the overpass. That was not an easy overpass to handle either. It was pretty far off the net, so she did a really good job finding open court.
Myers again. Linehan, the libero in the game. Gabadlo off of hands and out. Another kill for Cameron Gabadlo. That puts her at 9 for her evening.
And this dig went to Wilton LeBoy, so that takes the setter out of the offense. So Linehan sets up Gabadlo and doing a good job not putting it too tight. Gabadlo able to swing down the line.
Back to a 1-point set here in the second. Out of the middle. That was dug out nicely by Linehan. And shoved over by Gabadlo on the front row. Myers off the hands, and some miscommunication. Field just wasn't sure where it was, it looked like.
Yeah, trying to get off the net, working hard in transition, but kind of ended up in the way for Gabadlo, so she couldn't go get that ball.
And Beth Lanier calls a timeout for the Utes as we approach the closing moments of set number 2. Kansas State already leading 1-0. You look at the hitting percentages, they're starting to creep back towards each other, but that's been the big discrepancy. Kansas State just a lot more efficient than Utah.
Actually, in set 2, Utah doing a good job. Set 2, Utah hitting 289 to Kansas State hitting 250, and I think that's why we're seeing this be a lot closer set. So 15 kills for Kansas State in set 2 to 13 for Utah.
So there's Jason Mansfield as he instructs his troops over there with the Wildcats, part of 1 national championship and 7 Final Fours during his time with Stanford and Washington. Also spent time at Illinois. But prior to his tenure at Kansas State beginning, he was on teams or coaching teams that missed the tournament just once in 19 seasons.
Yeah, a really strong assistant coach, and obviously that's why he was able to move into a head coaching position here at Kansas State. So just a 3rd-year head coach, very different than the 36-year head coach in Beth Lanier.
Very different, but again, the teams that he has been a part of have accomplished quite a bit.
Yeah, amazing assistant coaching resume.
So it's a 2-point set, and it will be Simone Sims at the service line. 14 aces on the year entering this evening. 3rd in the Big 12, averaging about 4 digs per set. Sims gets us back underway. Sent across for Gabadlo. Good hard swing, but right there was LeGrand. Now Myers. Payne with the dig. Gabadlo just misses.
Ava LeGrand, the setter for Kansas State, who we highlighted in the pre-match, she's 2nd on the team in digs. So doing a really good job, like, all around in her game. Not just setting, you know, and running the offense, but playing great defense over there.
LeBoy for Gabadlo. Fox had the block set up for K-State. LeGrand on the back set to Fox. And Key Powell just couldn't get there with the dig. And all of a sudden, it is set point. And another timeout by head coach Beth Lanier, and Utah trying to hold the gates here in the second set. 24-20.
Another really good set for Ava LeGrand. She's able to create one-on-one opportunities, and basically any time that you can give the hitter a one-on-one opportunity, the advantage goes to the hitter. So she's pulled forward a little bit on that last play, and going against the grain is a really good option. So as she's moving forward, if she's able to push the ball back, usually the blockers are going to kind of move with her.
Right.
And so it creates that gap, and she pushes it back, and it's a really good time for that hitter to come in and hit the middle of the court. So really difficult on the block for Utah.
Well, let's take a look at some of her statistics entering this evening. There you see it, third in the Big 12 in assists per set, and she's climbing up towards 1,000 career assists as well. We had Coach Mansfield telling us before the game, Linda, that Ava is a player who has kind of waited her turn at Kansas State, and now this year as a senior, she has stepped into her own.
Yeah, and 9 double-doubles goes back to what we were talking about earlier, that she's not just running the offense and doing a great job at setting, but she's also one of the best defenders on the Kansas State team, who is one of the strongest floor defense teams in the conference.
And Coach Mansfield is making it seem like she eats, sleeps, and breathes volleyball. She was the first one out here getting ready. You can tell that she brings it and drags her team into the fight every night. Set point, Gubadlo, high off hands. And Fox didn't have the altitude on that one. Myers runs right into the block. Rosenbach field right there, and they prove impenetrable.
Caitlin Field worked so hard on this rally, going back and forth across the net. She had 3 block touches. You can see her moving along the net. They're blocking 2 times with Rosenbach and getting the final block for the point.
McKenna Payne, the start of what Utah hopes is a rally, but Williams ends that hope immediately. 25-21, the Wildcats take set number 2, and Utah has some work cut out for them ahead. 2 periods gone by, and we will set it down to head coach Beth Lanier here in just a little bit once she jumps on.
Yeah, 0-2 start, really strong for Kansas State so far in this match. Good back and forth play and a lot of big rallies. Let's say hello to Coach Beth Lanier.
Hello.
Coach, what do you think so far through 2 sets here in this one? What changes do you need to make?
Oh, it's been a tale of, you know, for a while we weren't getting kills, and then for a while we weren't kind of stopping them enough. So I think just shoring up a lot of we were making a lot of errors early in the match, and we cleaned that up. And so I think that we can, you know, get this done. We just got to keep staying clean, and we're starting to touch them a little bit more on the block and dig in a few more balls right now.
Thank you, Beth.
Thank you.
That's head coach Beth Lanier of the Utah Utes. 25-21, the second set. K-State up 2-0 when we come back after this here on ESPN in Salt Lake City.
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing to keep us focused.
A habit we never skip, to clear our minds and elevate our performance.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game? To drown out the self-doubt and support your mental health. Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mental health. Discover the resources that you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
What we grow here defies expectation. Hungry minds searching for answers. Explorers of the impossible. Breakthroughs without end. People who see the world not as it is, but as it could be. You'd be amazed at what we grow here.
There has never been a better time to be part of the Big 12 than right now. This is a defining moment for all of us.
Big power hit from the outside. There it is.
Stuffed. It cannot go over. Down the line, big swing. There you go. And an ace.
You truly are a different league.
Kansas State took the first set 25-16, and then the second 25-21. Utah had a bit of a push there, Linda, but K-State just proving a little bit too efficient.
Yeah, 30 kills so far compared to 24 for Utah, and really hitting percentage 343 to 188 for Utah. Set 2 was a lot closer, hitting percentage pretty even, but Kansas State is also outdigging Utah 31-23, and really just giving their offense a little bit more opportunities to get the kill.
All right, we have Jason Mansfield, the head coach of the Kansas State Wildcats, joining us. Jason, thank you for taking the time to join us. What have you seen so far out of your group responding without Anaya Clinton?
Yeah, just a lot of grit, right? So just next person up. You know, Lauren's been practicing well, and Alex has as well. So yeah, I think Shaylee was special in that first set and really kind of carried us through. And most of the second set, I think, was by committee, and that's the way we got to do it.
Jason, what are you looking for from Utah? Do you think they're going to make changes, or what are you expecting in the third and going
Yeah, they
forward?
came out with a different lineup that we didn't scout against, so that was a little bit of a wrinkle. But yeah, they got good players, and they can kind of move them in different places. So yeah, I think a lot of the same. We got to find a way to slow down 18-2 and serve tough and play really scrappy defense. That's, you know, what we're going to hang our hat on every match.
Coach, thanks for the time. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That's Coach Jason Mansfield of Kansas State. Cameron Gabadlo, no doubt, one of the pin hitters that he's trying to slow down here tonight, and she's eaten her fill for the most part.
Yeah, 9 kills so far for Cameron Gabadlo to lead the Utes. And Coach Mansfield's just saying that basically they're just trying to slow her down. They know she's going to get kills. All they can do is just try to slow her down a little bit. And Utah, on the other hand, is going to need a heavy dose of Gabadlo in order to get back in this match.
On the Kansas State side of things, they've been able to distribute the ball every which way because of Ava LeGrand and the way she sets things.
Ava LeGrand, just a great senior leader for the team, doing a lot of little things that a lot of times don't get recognized. Sometimes setters can be just background type players that nobody really realizes, but it makes such a difference to the hitter when they're able to get those one-on-one opportunities and, you know, distribute the ball to the hot hitter and all the things that go into running an offense. And Ava LeGrand putting up a really nice ball and giving her hitters a lot of opportunity.
Well, let's take a look at Ava LeGrand. There she is. And she has distributed the ball excellently to Shaylee Myers, 12 kills, Reagan Fox, 5, Jordan Williams, 5, Lauren Schneider, 4 of 4.
And Ava LeGrand on the way to possibly another double-double with 25 assists and 6 digs so far on the night.
Utah and Cameron Gabadlo down 2-0. You'd have to think that if the Utes are going to come back in this one, Linda, it's going to be even more of number 18.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, you know, Coach Beth Lanier thinks that they're really close and there's not much they need to do, just a few little changes, and they can get back into this match.
Well, that time it was Reagan Fox setting up the block in front of Nia Maria Yoki, and a good start for Kansas State. So here is Lauren Schneider. Again, one of the storylines for the Wildcats tonight is they have been going mostly without Anaya Clinton, who took a awkward-looking collision back in the first set with her own teammate. She's been out since, and it's been Schneider who's been stepping in, as you heard Coach Mansfield explain to us, and has been practicing well. Next man up.
And Shaylee Myers carrying a lot of the weight. She has 31 attempts, also 13 kills to lead the team. So she's going to be important through the rest of this match for K-State.
McKenna Payne does well just to get that over the net. Fox again into the middle, and nobody could get there for the Utes.
Reagan Fox just tipping over the block. K-State moving the ball around really well. A lot of their attackers not taking hard swings, but just finding openings in the court.
Fox, a redshirt sophomore out of Kansas City. Up ahead This is Gabadlo. And then dunked down by Field. Key Powell hit the deck for it. Yoki to the back row. And then at the net, nobody could handle it. That was LeGrand. It was rushing in, but it was too tight.
Kill for Damarie Yoki. That'll be only her second kill so far in the night. So, and only 6 attempts. Probably someone they need to get going a little bit more.
There's Gabadlo at the service line. They say that hit the floor right in front of Simone Sims. A service ace for Gabadlo.
Second service ace. This ball is just diving over the tape. Hits the floor before Sims can get her arms under it.
Looked like a curveball, just fell right off the table. Out of the middle that time, that was Brenna Schmidt. And now Key Powell. Little high and no touch, so point for K-State.
Key Powell trying to turn that ball down the line. This goes a little bit deep.
Wilton LeBoy, perfect set, quick set to the middle for Caitlin Field, who made no bones about that one.
Caitlin Field doing a really good job. Her 4th kill on 8 attempts, hitting 500. So when she's getting her opportunities, she's really being effective with them.
Have you seen her offense develop as the season has gone on? And we knew that she was effective on the block and very good defensively.
She doesn't get a lot of opportunities, but I think she's doing a great job with them when she does. And, being 6'5", she's swinging above the block a lot of times, which is awesome for her. Something you can't teach.
I would love to swing above the block.
Yes.
Kaylee Pond up to serve here for Kansas State. 5-3 here early. That's off the hands and down. Good hard swing by Bonnie Key Powell.
Bonnie Key Powell doing a much better job on that swing. She waited, timed the ball well, and then was able to swing off the block, off the hands on the block.
Had 8 kills the other day against West Virginia. She's up to 2 so far in this one as K-State steals that momentum right back. It almost feels like Utah's treading water a little bit here, not able to gain a firm foothold.
Yeah, Kansas State answers back a lot of times whenever Utah starts to get a run. This ball, Ava LeGrand just takes it into her own hands, literally, getting her 3rd kill. The setter's going to touch the ball more than any other player on the court because they're touching the ball in every rally. So that's part of why they really become the leader on the team.
Yeah. Wilton LeBoy just tried to answer with her own, but that one hit the net. 7-4. K-State in a tough scheduling stint right now. They're in the middle of a 5-game road stint. They're at BYU Friday. 4 of the 5 teams they're playing in that stretch are ranked opponents. As Key Powell gets that one through the block that time.
Key Powell kind of doing a lot of different roles for Utah. She started out as the libero, won the libero role, but then with Devin Wiest going down and some of those she's been playing outside, and she's only 5'9", but really good leaping ability, just a really good athlete.
Played basketball and track and field in high school. And with that athleticism, she can fill a lot of roles. As there is Moiai out of the middle for Utah.
Emery Moiai doing a really good job attacking. That's her 8th kill with only 1 error, hitting 538. Someone they should really start trying to feed.
Was an all Big 12 second team selection a year ago. There's Schneider, and she gets set back by the block, and it's the senior, Moiai.
Kansas State really good defensively, and a couple things that really work against good floor defense is either a quick attack in the middle or a block. So Emery Moiai really can be key to a comeback for Utah.
Powell on the serve. They set Williams on the slide this time, kept up in the air by Moss. And now it's K-State on the move. Williams again, they go right back to the well, and this time Williams converts.
It's a nice thing for a setter sometimes when someone gets blocked, just to go right back to them, get them in rhythm, let them have that opportunity. And Jordan Williams, again, just going with a power tip, which has been very effective against the Utes today.
Wilton the boy. Gabadlo just has to pop that one up. And a lot of Utes on the floor, but nobody could get to it. The first hand on it was Moss, but feels like the Wildcats are pretty adept at finding the soft spots of the coverage for Utah.
Agreed. Ava LeGrand that time goes up with just her left hand and kind of throws it down. So being a front row setter, she's able to attack just like the hitters.
Moiai. And out of the middle, Schmidt. Keep Powell right there on it. Gabadlo off hands. And then we'll try it again. Yeah, that one goes a little long. Would you want her to take a beat right there and get some more touches on it?
I mean, I think that she is a good enough hitter that she can attack that ball, and a lot of times she's going to get a kill. I think there was a little bit of congestion going on there, so sure. I think that might have been in her mind. But
Moiai drills that one all the way across the floor. That was an authoritative strike. 10-8. Utah back within 2. The Utes have not led a set yet in this match.
Moiai is so dynamic. She can get on that ball and get it to the floor quickly, and she now has tied Gabadlo with 9 kills to lead the Utes.
Block gets set up. Gabadlo and Field right on it. Schneider launches one over, and here comes Gabadlo. Full head of steam on that one. And that's another kill, so Gabadlo takes over the team lead with 10 kills.
And another smart swing by Gabadlo. Right now, the setter, LeGrand, is front row, and you definitely don't want to go against the 6'6" middle blocker when you're attacking, so turning it down the line and hitting against the setter is a much smarter attack.
Yeah, that's a solo block right there for Caitlin Field in the middle. Yeah, we're tied at 10.
That time, Shailene Myers coming out of the back row for this attack. Caitlin Fields stayed up and is able to get the solo block.
That time, LeGrand tried the dunk and it worked. It looked like Utah had it covered at first, but after a deflection, it hits the floor.
This was a good job by Caitlin Field to get hands on that. You want to try to put hands on the ball if the setter is going to attack it hard like that. So she did her job. It just bounced off a little bit, you know, where Utah wasn't expecting it.
5 kills for Ava LeGrand here in this match.
She's now rotated to the back row, so K-State will be back in 3-hitter rotation, and LeGrand will be back row. So.
Not sure what we're waiting on here, if there's a scoring discrepancy. Can't find Beth Lanier. She's talking with her assistants right now.
And again, Lauren Schneider, who's now in outside front row at 5'9", hitting the left side. That means the smaller blocker is now on the left side, so the right side attack is going to be a good place for Utah to go.
Service ace, and that was LeGrand at the line. She has been everything for K-State tonight.
Yeah, Ava LeGrand, 5 kills, hitting .714 as a setter, 29 assists, service ace, and 7 digs. So all over the stat sheet.
She has 9 double-doubles already this year. This time it's Caitlin Field, and every time they've gone to the freshman, she's delivered.
She's having a great night attacking. 5 kills on 8 attempts. So really doing a good job with her role.
Nia Maria Yoki checks into the game for head coach Beth Lanier. Wilton LeBoy at the service line. And she picks up an ace. Now we're tied at 12.
And it looks like Yoki now playing right side. Earlier, she was on the left side. So Coach Lanier trying a few different lineups to see if they can get something to work against Kansas State.
Yoki is sophomore out of Finland, played with Clemson last year, ACC all-freshman team. Back-to-back aces here for Leah Wilton LeBoy, a senior out of California. Utah in front for the first time this evening.
Leah Wilton LeBoy really doing a lot for Utah's leadership. I think she's a very steady player with a lot of experience, you know, and doing it in a lot of different places, just like Ava LeGrand for Kansas State.
Free ball for Kansas State. And a big strike out of the middle from Brenna Schmidt, the senior from Eagle, Nebraska.
6'6" hitter, Brenna Schmidt. That's her first kill so far tonight. So not someone they use a lot in the offense, but a great swing there on the gap set.
And just when Kansas State stopped the Utah run, the Utes pull back in front after a service error as Ileana Linehan checks back into the game for the Utes.
6 service error for Kansas State, 5 for Utah, so pretty even on the service error side.
LeGrand, back set, that was Fox, and that was pretty.
That was a really quick arm swing. It's not something we've really seen. She's done a lot of shots and, you know, mixing up her swings, but this time with a perfect set, she sees the seam in the block and takes a quick snap through the seam.
Powell got up for that one and just missed a little long. So Kansas State leads it 15-14 heading into our break. We're tight here in the third set. Utah down by a penny. We'll be right back here at John M. Huntsman Center in downtown Salt Lake City on ESPN. Down by 1, but the senior Emery Moiai doing her best here in the third set to drag Utah back into it.
Emery Moiai with 9 kills, only 1 air, hitting .533. That to go along with 2 blocks and a dig, which, you know, middles always love when they can get a dig.
Setters love when they get a block, and middles love when they get a dig.
Yeah, that's how it works. Emery Moiai rotating to the bench right now, but hopefully for Utah, she'll be back in and help them get this into, take us to a 4 set.
Yoki picks up a kill. That's her 3rd of the night, and she's another player for Beth Lanier who, if she can get going, that adds a totally different dimension.
Yeah, Naomi Yoki has had some matches where she's led the team and really been strong, and it's been a little bit difficult for her because they're having her play sometimes left side, sometimes right side. You know, her natural position is more right side, which is where she's playing right now. So getting her going along with the middles can be a really good recipe to help out the outside hitters and Cameron Gabadlo.
Pond at the service line. Kansas State back in front. That was Gabadlo out of the back row. And it's kill number 11 on the night for Cameron Gabadlo. They may need her to put on her cape this evening.
Cameron Gabadlo giving K-State a little of their own medicine. A lot of them have been going up and doing those roll shots and finding the court. Cameron Gabadlo, that time from the back row, just finds a seam in the floor defense.
Tough serve by Yoki, but fought off well by Pond. Wilton LeBoy, quick set there to Moiai, and then sent right back over by LeGrand. Keep Powell taps it over. Pond digs it up, but it's free here for Utah. Battle at the net. And the Wildcats have a little bit of system, and there is Shaylee Myers putting a punctuation on what was an interesting and tightly contested rally.
This was a really fun rally, back and forth on both sides. You can see right there Legrand setting outside and being able to hold the middle blocker. So Emery Moiai jumped with the middle blocker, and that created the one-on-one for Shaylin Myers on the outside.
15 kills for Myers, hitting 243 so far tonight. There she is on a serve. And Legrand got a fist on it, but couldn't direct it back towards play. And so Utah picks up the point. Keep Powell at the service line. 21 aces on the year entering tonight.
And we have Isabel Marco in setting now for Utah. So switching up a little bit what Utah's doing.
And I believe one of the Wildcats was in the net here.
So Utah going with the double sub, bringing in Marco as well as opposite hitter Grossenbach. So they have a little bit more offense and three front row attackers.
Beth Lanier shuffling the deck. And it's sent over Kansas State. On the slide, that was Williams, didn't have enough on it, and the block of Gabadlo forced her back. Utes get the point and take a 2-point lead, 19-17 here, coming into the late stages of our third set. Let's step aside quickly here at Huntsman Center. We'll get right back to more action here in the third with the Utes on top for the first time tonight. Still a lot of great volleyball left here at Huntsman Center, but looking around the rest of the Big 12 here tonight, some interesting results. Look at Iowa State picking up a ranked win over Baylor. Arizona State in a dogfight with TCU, and then UCF picks up a win against BYU down in Provo.
Yeah, on BYU's home court, so not an easy thing to do there. Just kind of lets you understand how strong the Big 12 is, top to bottom. It's, you know, no one can plan that they're going to get a win, even if they're playing the very bottom teams in the Big 12, because everybody is very strong and very close. You can see in the top 25, there are 6 teams, 6 of the, out of the Big 12 that are in the top 25. So just a really strong year in the Big 12 for volleyball.
Utah spent the first 6 weeks of the season in the top 25. Only 2 conference wins so far, looking for their third. It'll be their first time winning back-to-back conference games. If they can win here tonight, they will need a comeback. Moiai sends it off of Sims, and another violation against Kansas State. That's back-to-back, I believe, 20-17.
Yep, so that's another kill for Emery Moiai on that overpass.
She's up to 10 for her evening. Keep Powell continuing a nice run at the line. Utes with Gabadlo. A little high on that deep set.
One of the things that happened earlier in the year for Utah, a lot of times on those broken plays when the liberos or off players were setting them, they were trap setting the attackers. You can definitely tell they're trying to keep those off the net and give their attackers a little bit more room. You know, Gabadlo swinging high and just barely missing there.
This time they set the right side, that's Grossenbach. And it's Schneider on that same antenna. Gabadlo off the block and down.
Another smart swing got by Gabadlo off the outside blocker's hands and out of bounds.
Caitlin Field checks back in for Utah.
It's a really smart swing when you can go off the outside hand because there's nobody there to dig it. So that's the best swing you can have as an outside attacker.
Has to take a certain amount of confidence as well because there's less floor to work with on the outside hand.
Yep, and you're swinging at a block, right? So it has to be a smart swing and a hard swing, and sometimes you're gonna get blocked, but attacking the block is a really good way to get kills also.
game at center. That's number 3 you're watching out there. Gabadlo to the middle of the floor. Nobody home for Kansas State.
And Utah now almost caught up to Kansas State in total kills. 38 kills for Utah versus 40 for Kansas State. So Utah definitely making more of their attack opportunities.
And it's the first time that we've seen Jason Mansfield call a timeout, or second time I should say, with Utah leading 22-19 here in the third set. We'll stay right here on ESPN. Mike Fulton and Linda Byington, glad to be alongside you as the Utes look for their third conference win, and Kansas State looks to pull to 500 in the Big 12. Coming up next, the Utes will be in action against UCF, a team that, as we said, knocked off BYU. That'll be 7 o'clock first serve, and that's going to be a fun night, Linda. Costumes, trick-or-treating with the players afterwards.
Yeah, Halloween night here with the Utes. They did that last year as well, and it's really fun. A lot of the fans come out. The kids will dress up, and they do some trick-or-treating with the team afterward. So, you know, if you are looking for something to do on Halloween, this is a great place to be inside and, you know, spending it with the Ute volleyball team.
Do you have a costume for that night?
You know it. I love Halloween. I think that's my favorite holiday, so we'll definitely be here in costume as well.
You definitely hand out the king-size candy bars at your house, huh?
Oh, you know it. Except I won't be there. I'll be here.
You'll be here? Okay,
here.
You'll have to bring some.
Yeah, here in the Huntsman Center. So come join us. We'll be here having a fun Halloween night, Friday night.
Against the UCF team that's already been enjoying their stay here in State 45 with a win against top-ranked Cougars. Back underway here in the third. And a swing and miss from Reagan Fox on that left side.
Utah trying to force a fourth set here. And, you know, when you go down 0-2, basically, you just take what's in front of you next. So Utah just wanting to get a little bit of momentum, try to get this third set, and then just see what happens from there. That's the way that you approach that, because otherwise it seems, you know, like a big task.
Someone smart once said something about eating an elephant. One bite at a time. Field with the block there on Schmidt. From the back row, Myers gets that down. And K-State pulls back a little bit closer on another kill from Shaylee Myers. Put her at 16 for the night.
Shaylee Myers coming up from the back row against 2 blockers, attacking the block, not shying away from them, and just swinging hard through the block.
They set Gabadlo again. LeGrand puts it on a tee for Myers. That was fought off by Yoki. She was a little shaken up, but back up to her feet, and then it ends up on the Utah side of the net. So 2 straight points here for Kansas State.
That was 6-6 versus 6-5, very high above the net. So
23-21, and Beth Lanier calls a timeout now after back-to-back points from the Wildcats. We'll be right back after this on ESPN. Utah in front as we approach the crucial moments of this third set. There's Shaylee Myers, who has led the way for Kansas State in a big way.
Shaylee Myers has really shouldered a big effort today with the losing of their other outside hitter. And she has 40 attempts on the night already. Only a 3-set match so far, 40 attempts. She has 16 kills, hitting 250, also to go along with 8 digs. So again, just really mixing it up. She's hitting out of the back row. She's hitting, you know, on the outside, mixing up her shot there, going down the line, and doing a lot of different things in order to get those kills and carry K-State to 2 sets to none lead so far in the match.
Again, if you missed it earlier, Anaya Clinton, we we have not seen on the floor since the first set when she ran into one of her teammates. 2-point set right now. There's Myers again, off the block. That's Yoki this time. Kansas State in rhythm. And that was blasted by Myers into the back row. Another kill for Kansas State's star outside hitter.
And you can tell Kansas State really going to her, to Shaylee Myers, when it is crucial. She's had the last 2 kills in a row, and just putting the ball where she needs to on the floor.
Sims on the bump set. It's Myers again. Another kill. She's automatic.
Yeah, this time the block was like right in front of her. They knew it was going there. She had a double block set up, and she went on the hard angle, really sharp. This is not something that every outside hitter can do. They have to drop their thumb in order to hit this sharp angle. She's hitting it inside the 10-foot line. Let's take a look.
That's unreal. With velocity and precision.
Yeah, and a lot of that is just last second where she's turning her wrist. So you don't really know that she's going to go there ahead of time. She's coming in strong and hard, sees the double block in front of her, and just turns her hand and her arm on that angle in order to hit that 10-foot line shot. And again, that's the first time we've seen that. So she's done a lot of different things in order to get her 18 kills on the night so far.
So 23 apiece here late in the third set, and no doubt that Shaylee Myers has earned plenty of honors from the conference throughout her time at Kansas State. Simone Sims, Defensive Player of the Week in the Big 12 with those 26 digs against their in-state rival Kansas Jayhawks. Then we'll see Ava Armour coming up here in a little bit on Friday night. That will be a lot of fun to watch when UCF rolls into town.
Yeah, Ava Armour is a 6'5" outside hitter for UCF, and she, again, takes a lot of swings on the outside, on the back row, and everywhere, like what we're seeing from Shaylee Myers tonight. So very similar, only she's 6'5" instead of a 6-foot outside hitter that Shaylee Myers is. So different kind of players, but also getting similar number of swings.
Myers had 67 total attacks in that big win against the Kansas Jayhawks. Utah picks up the point here, set point.
Cameron Gabadlo swinging on the right side that time in serve receive. Again, finding the outside hand of the outside blocker and just attacking off the block.
Gabadlo at the line. The junior sends it away. They go back to Myers off the block, and we'll play some free volleyball here, 24-24.
Caitlin Field working really hard trying to get outside, and I think Shaylee Myers seeing that she was a little bit late and just swings off her hands.
Details becoming important here. Out of the back row, that was Gabadlo. Payne got a hand on it. And now it's a free ball, but an overpass, and Field buries it.
Field there says thank you to Jordan Williams, who trying to set it up to her setter, actually sets the middle blocker for Utah, and she's able to put away the overpass.
2 mistakes, one by each team there, but Utah on the right side of it, trying to hang on in this conference match. Fox has to bump set it over to Myers, who runs right into the block, and the Utes take the third. It got close at the end, but Utah took the lead in the middle. They set up the block to finalize their first set victory here of the match. We'll step aside and get you more action here in the fourth when we return on ESPN.
Hey, grab me one too.
When you need inspiration, it's worth shopping Smith's. For thousands thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And low prices that add up to big savings, like over $600 in digital coupons each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Smith's, fresh for everyone.
As a Great Clips salon stylist, I love giving customers the look they want. With Clip Notes, we save your haircut details, so it's one less thing for you to worry about. And when I see that confidence at the end of the cut, that's everything to me.
As a stylist, I know it can be hard to find time for a haircut. With the Great Clips app, you can put your name on the list from anywhere and head to the salon when it's time for your cut. A great haircut plus more time for what you love. That's Great Clips.
Wildly entertaining and unpredictable Big 12 has a champion to crown, and AT&T Stadium is where we're going to decide it.
Into the corner, touchdown.
Utah battles back to force a fourth set here at Huntsman Center, taking the third 26-24. Let's take a look at our numbers through the first three frames. Linda, what stands out to you when we take a look at these statistics through the first three?
Well, Utah out-blocking Kansas State 6-2. That's a significant number. Kansas State really started off hot, hitting 571 as a team in the first set. After that, it's kind of stabilized. They're hitting 314 overall, but really pretty even. 263 to 238 in attack percentage in that third set. And in that third set, we had 10 ties and 3 late lead changes. So really back and forth, a lot of good competition, some longer rallies. You know, Utah figuring out a way to get in the set, which is really all they can do once you go down 0-2. So, you know, back and forth. I think Utah's doing a little more 6-2 with the double sub. You can see Coach Lanier talking to Izzy Marco, who got in that third set. So I would expect Utah to do some of the double sub, bringing in, you know, Marco and Gabadlo so that they have 3 hitters. And again, Utah just really trying to fight. A lot of times right now it can come down to 1 or 2 plays, and that's really all it comes down to. So they just need to find a way to get those last couple of points and force a fifth set.
Myers gets us going here in the opening of the fourth. Yoki with a swing from the right side, and then a nice drive from the middle. That was Field, but they say it was out. Kansas State gets the point. I thought that one was close.
Yeah, Caitlin Field going up on that overpass, trying to swing on the angle, and I think she just missed it on the line. Let's take a look. Yeah, just missed it out on the line. Very close. Good idea, swinging deep like that where there's no defender, but a little bit wide.
And I've already used my challenge tonight as well. I'm 0 for 1 on those. Field pushes this over. Wildcats set up Brenna Schmidt, and Brenna Schmidt picks up just her 3rd kill of the match.
Yeah, this was something we really haven't seen, the slide attack for Schmidt, but doing a good job, 6'6", swinging from a high place, able to attack the block.
At the net, Key Powell gets underneath that one. And what do we have here?
They're calling a back row attacker. So Leah Wilton-LeBoy is back row, and she went up and tried to play that second ball. And so that's an illegal contact for Wilton-LeBoy. Beth Lanier is questioning it, but understands the call.
Wildcats have been in the driver's seat most of tonight, and now some more issues.
It was a serve before the whistle, so Utah was still talking, and they didn't whistle, and the server didn't realize it. So just an inadvertent.
Let's try it again here with Emerson Van Lannen. It's Yoki again, and Mia Maria Yoki is able to tool that off the block.
This was a good swing for Yoki, swinging hard. She takes a lot of, different kinds of shots and stuff. It's good to see her taking a hard swing, and she's just swinging off the block of Shaylee Myers on the outside hand there.
We saw Beth Lanier move her back over to the right side in that third set, one of the adjustments from Utah. Once again, they go back to Schmidt. That's twice here early on that they've used her on the slide.
Yeah, you know, it worked really well the first time, so smart play there by Legrand to just go to her again.
And again, they don't use Schmidt out of the middle offensively all that much, only averaging 1.3 kills per set entering tonight. This is Myers. Usual suspects. Tight to the net and shoved over by Keith Powell. Myers again. Block got a piece of it. And then some disarray in the K-State zone. Wildcats, and she's able to find the lightly painted wood going across the court.
Kind of a miss, just a like various kind of play where a lot of not a lot of hard swings, and then K-State decides that they were done with that rally, and Shaylee Myers comes in and pounds it on the hard angle.
And that one was on the wrong side of the antenna. Boy, after Utah had the momentum in the second half of that third set, Beth Lanier feels like she needs a timeout. 6-1 here in the fourth. It's been a bit disorganized in Utah, down 2-1, down 6-1 here in the fourth. We'll get you some more NCAA volleyball in the Big 12 after this. Brenna Schmidt, one of the middles for Kansas State, has found some success on the slide here in the fourth.
Yeah, she's had the last 2 kills in a row on that slide. It's only her 4th kill of the night, but being really effective with it, hitting 444.
3-0 run for the Wildcats. Utah answers with Yoki, and she delivers a hard strike to the deep corner.
Yoki definitely seeming a little bit more comfortable on that right side, and also getting a one-on-one opportunity there, swinging hard on that angle.
She feels like one of the X factors night in and night out with this team. When she is rolling, it is a totally different fold to this Utah attack. Linehan for Key Powell into the block, and that time it was Schmidt and I believe Myers as well.
Leah Wilton, the boy, took this first ball, and so Kansas State's block knew exactly where the attack was coming from, was set up right in front of Bonnie Keepal and pressed over the net. Really strong for their 3rd block of the night.
So now Wilton, the boy, and Izzy Marco on the floor for Utah. The bump set to Fox, dug out by Gabadlo. Key Powell off the block and down. Hard swing from Bonnie Key Powell, and she found the outside arm.
Yeah, that seems like it's working the best for any of the outside hitters. If they can find that outside blocker's arm, that's where we're seeing a lot of the kills go down, where K-State defense is so good, the floor defenses, that if they're hitting on the court, then a lot of times K-State's bringing that ball out.
Here come the Wildcats. What a dig that time from Key Powell, laying out to keep it alive. Now the Wildcats are scrambling, And that is an outstanding play by Vonnie Powell, laying out here early in the fourth set.
Key Powell is on the middle back defense, and that ball went clear down the line, but she's able to lay out with one hand to keep that ball alive and get the point for the Utes.
LeGrand for Schneider, and that goes long. Oh no, it's off hands it looks like, and so it's 8-4. Kansas State gets the point.
Yeah, high swing, just looks like it barely touched Wilton LeBoy's hands. Really smart swing for the 5'9" outside hitter.
Wilton LeBoy calling for it. And then Schneider uses a little bit of finesse that time. Kansas State just has to send over a free ball. They set the middle, and Emery Moiahi delivers a thunderous blow to this right side.
When Moiahi goes up and swings hard like she does on this gap set, it really fires up her team. That ball gets to the floor fast, and you can see on the replay, she only has one blocker in front of her. That's not going to work against Moiahi.
It is so fun to watch her elevate. Myers attacks from the back row and sneaks that just inside the end line.
This was not where Myers expected the set was going to be, and so she went up without much of an attack off 1 foot. Just smart, finding a way to put and I think she had a digger in front of her, so she just finds a way to put the ball to the floor even when it's not in system.
Cabadlo gets her first swing in a while. Wilton LeBoy gives it right back to her. Utah trying to get their star swinger involved as this goes off the block and down. That was Wilton LeBoy and Caitlin Field, who were right there on the scene.
Really good dig by Shaylee Myers to keep that ball in play. And then, good block by Caitlin Field. I think that might have been
Kansas
out.
State is challenging that the ball was out.
Okay, so we have a challenge here.
Yeah, K-State challenging, thinking that it's out. I think this could be a really quick review because it looked like that was clearly out on the block.
Well, we've been moving right along here tonight, knock on wood. I was watching the game against Arizona State. You were on the call for, Linda, and that one was very stop and start, but there's been a little bit better flow to this one here tonight as we watch the replay. And
yeah, a lot less challenges.
Yep.
Sometimes when those challenges are really close and it's hard to tell, they can take a lot of time. I think this is going to be a quick review, though.
And let's
After
listen in.
review, Kansas State will win the point. The call is reversed, and they will retain their challenge.
That's a coach's eye, Linda.
It was a good block by Utah, just a little bit, wrong angle on the hands and just barely went out of bounds. But good swing by Kansas State and a good challenge by Coach Jason Mansfield.
Do coaching staffs keep tabs of percentages of won challenges and things like that? Is that tracked?
No, I don't
It's not in the analytics report?
But you do definitely know which players know when they touch the net or not, or when they touch the ball. So some players you'll listen to if they say they didn't touch it, and others you're like, I'm not sure you know.
Which ones are honest and which ones believe in themselves?
Yeah, I just think sometimes they don't even know. They don't realize it.
Caitlin Field picks up another kill. She's had some good success here tonight. Her 7th kill of this match.
Yeah, hitting 375. Good set there by Wilton LeBoy going in the middle. Again, a lot easier to get kills out of the middle when you play a team like K-State with such good floor defense.
11-6 here in the middle of the fourth, and that time it's Jordan Williams. She's been productive when called upon as well here tonight. Her 7th kill on 17 swings.
Yeah, both of Kansas State's middles really effective. They're not used a lot, but they're really effective when they are, and they're doing a good enough job to hold the middle blockers for Utah and make it easier for their outside attack.
That goes off hand, so Key Powell had to dig it. The same man couldn't quite find that.
Opposite side. And Yoki trying to swing on the line, really swinging down the line well, but it just went deep. Utah down 13-6, needs a run in order to keep this match alive.
And another one that just goes a little long, and the Utes are seeing it slip away in front of them here.
And, you know, missing by inches, you know, both of those two were good sets, good swings, and just barely missing. So it's not big adjustments that Utah needs to make, just really small adjustments to get back in this match.
Gabadlo at the line.
She has the 2 service aces on the night, so a good one to get back there to maybe start a Utah run.
Gives her 19 for the year. All-American honorable mention a year ago. Linehan up for Keith Powell, taps it over. And Myers meets the block of Utah. Yoki in field right there. That time, the Utah block was set up to perfection.
Yeah, this time, I mean, again, kind of the same angle that she's trying to hit off the Caitlin Field block, but Caitlin pressed over farther, so it went more straight down and didn't get out of bounds that time.
3 blocks tonight for Field. Keith Powell gets dirty for that one, and Yoki goes off hands and out. That outside arm has been Utah's greatest source of strength on these outside swings.
That was a quick set. Yoki just kind of having to go in off 1 foot, not a full approach, but doing a good job swinging off hands.
And then a miscommunication on the reception that time, so a service ace for Cameron Gabadlo.
It's a really good serve right between 2 players. Really, anytime you can make a passer have to take a step, their passing percentage is going to go down.
We'll step aside briefly in a 14-10 set. Kansas State on top, but Utah making a charge here in the 4th at Huntsman Center. Kansas State in front 2-1 and leading in this 4th set, and the road ahead is not getting any easier for the Wildcats. Look at those 4 ranked matchups, Cincinnati on November 6th, but BYU, Colorado, Baylor, and Kansas. This is life in the Big 12.
The good thing for the Kansas State Wildcats is they finally get to go home after 5 road matches. Right. They get to go home for Cincinnati and the next 3 matches after that. So that'll be nice for them to be back in their own gym.
And again, they're in the middle of a stretch right now. This is their 4th game of a 5-game road stretch, the one that you were alluding to, Linda. That's had a bunch of ranked teams on this road stretch as well. 4 of the 5 ranked during the current run. Service error on Utah.
Stopping a 4-0 service run by the Utes, but trying to work their way back into this and force a 5th set.
Here comes Emerson Van Lannen. 18 service aces on the year. She comes in to serve quite a bit. Keith Powell, how about that dig from Kaylee Pond? Just couldn't get any help from her supporting cast.
Smart shot there by Keith Powell, going right over the block into the donut and able to get the kill.
To the freshman Payne to the service line.
It's kind of like a free throw.
Yeah.
They're calling it out of rotation on Kansas State. So you have to line up in the position that you're in until the serve takes place. And if that doesn't happen, then it's just an automatic point for the other team.
Payne and the Utes will take it. Back to a 3-point set. Here comes Myers. She's been excellent tonight. Wilton LeBoy backsets Yoki off the hands that time of Shaylee Myers. And that one looked like it went out. Goes right in front of us, and
Yes, basically a solo block there by Shaylee Myers. There's a seam in the block, and she's able to press over and get the block on Yoki.
We'll go back to Myers, and this time she fits it in down this near side.
Another smart shot, just going down the line, taking a little bit off of that swing, not trying to swing hard, and just putting a shot in the corner. Shaylee Myers really a smart attacker.
She's got 22 kills here tonight. She's had double-digit kills in all but one match so far this season. One more swing, why not? That gets down in front of Gabadlo. Give her 23 for the night.
This was a really great dig on the Kansas State side by Simone Sims. It's a quick attack by Emery Moeai, but Sims gets under it, creates that opportunity for Shaylee Myers for the kill.
18-12 and a timeout called by head coach Beth Lanier and Utah here in the fourth set with Kansas State pulling in front a little bit more. Let's look at our impact players for tonight's match so far. On the Utah side, Emery Moeai really turned it up in the third and helped Utah get to this fourth set. And on the other side, it has to be Shaylee Myers.
Yeah, Moeai with 12 kills, hitting 500. 2 digs, also in 3 blocks, and Shaylee Myers 23 kills. She is really gonna have a sore arm tomorrow. She has 57 attempts tonight, and we're only in the 4th set. She's hitting 263, so also being really effective on her attack, and that goes along with 13 digs, so she's at a double-double for the night.
And she was leading the way against Kansas in that upset win for Kansas State. She had 15 kills on 67 swings. She's been more productive on fewer swings here tonight, but still a huge workload. And Moeai on the other side.
Yeah, Shaylee Myers, 23 of the 55 kills for Kansas State. So
wow.
She's, about half of their kills coming from Shaylee Myers. For the Utah offense, a little bit more spread out with Gabadlo with 15 and Moeai with 12. And then Caitlin Field with 7 kills, hitting 294. So getting some production out of both middles against this Kansas State team.
Yeah, we mentioned this stat earlier, but earlier this season she had, Shaylee Myers that is, had 34 kills in one match, the most by a Big 12 player this season. That time, it's our other impact player, Moeai, with a direct spike over the net from the middle.
Yeah. Booming kill, yeah, that was almost like a free ball serve. I think she was trying to do a short serve, but served it really high, and I was thinking, oh boy, watch out below for Moeai on this almost free ball.
Yoki with a low, hard serve that Sims fought off beautifully. LeGrand calling for it, and that's a big swing from Reagan Fox on this left antenna.
But she was in the net on that swing, followed through with her hand into the net, so a point for Utah.
Yoki still at the service line, and yeah, just a little bit there with the fingertips. Out of the middle, Moeai tried to flush it straight down. That ends up on the stanchion after Sims couldn't handle it.
Started with a really tough serve by Yoki, setting that up, creating the opportunity for Utah, and then another good set to Moeai, who anytime they can get the ball there to her right now, I think they should go to her, and not hitting that one hard, but finding the power tip to the floor.
She's on the front row with Key Powell and Wilton LeBoy. This is Utah's setter for Key Powell, and that one goes well long.
Key Powell kind of mis-hitting the ball. I think, she's mistiming those when they're coming from off the net a little bit, needing to delay just a little bit and, get a good firm contact on her hand. But again, she hasn't played outside hitter for a lot of the year, and a lot that Utah is asking from her.
This time a bump set for Key Powell. K-State in system. Fox into the block. Off the tape. Gabadlo keeps it alive. Key Powell will try again. And then Schmidt out of the middle. Izzy Mark Marco into the game. That was her set to Moiai, and then Marco. Payne at the net, and an overpass gives it right back to Kansas State, and the Wildcats capitalize.
Yeah, so that was called a double contact. You can double contact if you're setting to your team, but since that ball carried over the net, that's a double contact and a violation.
20-15. And Grossenbach sends it long.
Started with a tough serve by Kansas State. Izzy Marco not having a lot of options and setting Grossenbach pretty far off the net. That's a tough swing for Grossenbach.
So here is Myers. And the Utes in a bit of disarray here. Fox off the block, another kill for Reagan Fox. That's her 8th of the match, 23-15. Here's the look ahead for the Utah Utes. You see those 4 ranked opponents looming ahead.
Yep, and we'll be back here in the Huntsman Center on Friday for the Halloween game against UCF, who beat BYU earlier tonight.
22-15, a 4-0 run. Big swing for Moiai, but Sims got a piece, couldn't keep it in play. Can that turn the tide a little bit here for Utah?
Yeah, Utah subbing back in Wilton LeBoy, so she's a front row setter. That gives the opportunity for Moiai to go around on the slide, and just a great swing by Moiai, again, with a lot of power.
14 kills for Emery Moiai. This time they look for Lauren Schneider, and she picks up another kill. Boy, has she been good here tonight.
Yeah, Schneider stepping in, doing a great job. That's her 7th kill. She's hitting over 300, you know, coming in for the injured player and just really doing a good job filling that role.
At the net, Moiai tried the dump, but Sims read that play beautifully, and then another kill here for Schneider.
Great swing by Schneider, attacking the block, not shying away from that big Utah block, but just swinging high and hard off the hands.
So here we are at match point. Gabadlo leaning back after a deep set. Schneider can't quite polish it off. And Utah lives to see another day here, or at least another serve.
Schneider again trying to attack the block, swinging high. Smart swing from the 5'9" outside hitter, but just missed the hands on that ball.
Out of the back row, Myers, a little long. That's worked most of the night. Shaylee Myers flying in from the back row.
K-State thinking they touched hands, but called out of bounds and Utah point. And interestingly, Utah has both setters in the court right on the court right now. So Izzy Marco playing some defense for Utah.
Keep Powell. Gabadlo with a laser beam.
Wow, this was a monster swing from Gabadlo. The set came from back, like on the end line, over her shoulder. Not an easy time to take a hard swing, but just a rocket coming off of Gabadlo after going over her shoulder.
Utah needs a long run here, still down by 5. Marco with the set to Gabadlo. And that is healthy medicine for the Utes here, trailing by 4, and a timeout called by Kansas State. Couple consecutive kills for Cameron Gabadlo. Let's take a look back at how Utah has stayed in this fight.
Yeah, those balls are really difficult coming over your shoulder like that. You can see that she's being set from almost the end line. Gabadlo waits on the ball, times it really well, and then just takes a monster swing. And, you know, right now, down 24 at match point, this is when it needs to be the Gabadlo show. And she's put away the last 2 kills in a row, like, convincingly. She's not leaving it up for any question. So I would expect them to continue going to her.
Our game here tonight, one of many going on around the Big 12 this evening. And there you see the final. Arizona State really pulled away in the 3rd against TCU after the Horned Frogs made things interesting in the second, but you look at the first, third, and fourth, and the Sun Devils flex their muscles.
Yeah, ASU staying undefeated, even when playing, you know, a top team like TCU. It's pretty amazing, too, because ASU was, you know, won the conference last year, and it pretty much has a whole new roster, a lot of transfers. It tells you about the portal, but, you know, still finding a way to be undefeated in this really tough Big 12 conference with a whole new team.
And we talked about it earlier, but ASU, the exact opposite of Kansas State, with no transfers in or out. These are homegrown talents. And in the third year for head coach Jason Mansfield, this is his program. These are his players finally as well.
Yep, Moeai continuing to serve, needing to keep the ball in and keep Utah alive.
Utah will take that free ball, and Caitlin Field pulls the Utes even closer.
Yeah, not making any question about putting that ball away that time to get her 8th kill. And she's hitting .333 on the night.
Moeai trying to lead her team back. This is Schneider off the block. They'll try her again. Keith Powell is there. Good Badlow leans into one. The K-State block was there. This time it's Myers off the net. Field was sitting right in front of her at the tape.
Yeah, a little bit of a low set. Field trying to just come in and swing hard anyway and put the game away, but didn't quite go over the net.
6-0 scoring run for the Utes to stay alive. Make it 7-0. And now Utah is within 1 here in the fourth.
Just an amazing job by Emery Moeai. Every single serve she's had
Kansas State is challenging a block touch.
And just a really tough, you know, effort by her. So I definitely don't know if you saw Wilton LeBoy's face. She's like, no, I didn't touch that ball. But I think kind of being used as a timeout right here. And who knows, you never know, right?
Well, and look at, we just saw the shot of Jason Mansfield.
After review, the call is confirmed. Kansas State will lose a challenge.
Yeah, it wasn't even close, but you saw Mansfield in that huddle wasn't really even addressing his players, literally just wanted to stop the game for a little bit.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a good use of a replay, and thankfully, very quick replay because they saw that it was out and didn't take a lot of time, so back to Moeai serving. 7-0
run for the Utes. All of a sudden, it's a 1-point set. This time, it's out of the middle, and Kansas State finishes off Utah in emphatic fashion. And it was Jordan Williams with the finishing touches on the Utes as Kansas State pulls to 500 in Big 12 play, and they build off of their big rivalry win the other night against Kansas. And they start off their Utah trip with a victory before they head south to Provo.
Utah's fighting really tough. I think Emery Moeai did an amazing job in a lot of pressure serves. You can't just serve those soft or Kansas State's just gonna side out, you know, but she served tough, kept the ball in, and gave Utah a chance.
We're now being joined by one of the heroes of the night with the set on the game-winning kill for Kansas State. One of the heroes for the Kansas State Wildcats, Ava LeGrand. Ava, congratulations on the win. What did it take to get it done here tonight?
Oh my gosh, Utah is such a good team. Like, I know a couple of their great starting players are out, and so they have great depth, and our coaches did a great job scouting them, and I think, especially in the first 2 sets, we did a great job staying disciplined and being on that scouting report. And then that was kind of our focus in the third or fourth set, because we kind of let that slip, and I think we executed that.
So a senior getting the opportunity to start now after, you know, paying your dues several times, what does that mean to you?
Oh my gosh, it means everything. I mean, just not giving up, and I think it's so easy now to just enter the portal and just go find somewhere new, and there's nothing wrong with that for sure, but I think just staying at K-State, they've treated me so well here, more than just the coaches but the support staff and the community of Manhattan, and so I wouldn't want to leave and go anywhere else and do it with any other team.
So one of your outside hitters went out.
Yes.
And you know, how does that affect your team, and how do you continue to, you know, stay focused and get the win?
Yeah, and I as a a great teammate, and like even I think she was out, but she stayed on the bench, and you know she just keeps a smile on her face, even though I know it's definitely tough for her. But I mean, kudos to Alex and Lauren. They were on the scouting report. I know what that position is like. It's hard to stay on, be disciplined, and so just kudos to them, and we trust them and what they're gonna do. So I'm really proud of them and the team to like be around them. So yeah.
Well, Ava, congratulations again on the win. It seems like you guys are in a good run of form recently. I know it's been a lot of road games here recently, so good luck on the rest of the trip. And again, congrats on a great effort tonight.
Thank you guys so much.
Ava LeGrand, one of the heroes of tonight for Kansas State. They take it in 4 sets as they are now at 500 here in Big 12 play, their 12th win of the year. Great show, everybody. Mike Fulton, Linda Byington, Eric Breezy, our replay operator, back in the booth. Thanks for everybody for tuning in to this presentation of NCAA volleyball here on ESPN. From John M. Huntsman Center, we'll see you next time.